Nets provide security at all but the remotest locations by allowing people to be aware of anyone unexpected approaching the location from anywhere visible from a cut's road, based on the individual settings for what constitutes anyone expected. The person can be notified, or they can delegate the notification to some entity responsible for responding to such events. Like today's doorbell cameras, the notification can include real-time video and a potential for two-way voice communications. In very rare circumstances, a delegate can be sent to the location. Even if such notifications are disabled or ignored, in the event a crime was committed, the information about people's movements can be used to determine if someone, satisfying a provided description, could have been at the crime location at a given time. Note that whenever a Nets vehicle is used, it is possible to trace the origin of that person's trip back to where they first came into view of a Nets sensor. The likelihood that a perpetrator would be able to avoid getting caught would be small. In a basis for change world, as described in later videos, every person would have a high quality of life. Together, these would make all crimes very rare. The monitoring does provide a large potential for reductions in privacy with Nets. However, this is only an issue if all the information it would collect is accessible by a third party. Nets restricts all access to permissioned external entities and only provides a very restricted view of the collected information. The most significant available query would be of the form, was a person satisfying a provided description, possibly photographs, at a particular location at a particular time? Such queries could only be performed by entities identified as investigating a crime. Only once some threshold has been reached might permissions be granted to obtain additional information, potentially some raw data. Privacy then becomes an issue of how the permissions are granted and what queries are available based on the categories of available permissions. To a large degree, the permission granting would be a version of today's search warrants. Note that the sensor collection capability could be done, and may already be done to some degree, by governments or private entities. As doorbell cameras become more common, it could be partially a matter of obtaining access to what they collect. Something should be done to ensure that does not occur, or at least it is not abused. Nets takes the approach that the data should be collected and used for its various operational needs, including security. But the collected data would only be accessible to external permissioned entities via a very constrained query mechanism. Nets would enhance data privacy in an indirect manner. As shown in our fine-grained services video, the demand for a large number of objects would be reduced by a factor of 10 or more. Many of the remaining objects would be produced on consignment from individuals or households. There would be corresponding or greater reductions in advertising and the benefits businesses would derive from private data collection.